Hello everyone.
Hi, Prisha.
Okay, without waiting, we would be starting with our session. So, ladies and gentlemen, namaste आप सबको and a very warm good evening to all of you. मैं हूँ प्रीशा सुरेजा, आप सबकी host और दोस्त, and I would like to welcome you all to the most awaited live interaction with one of the most amazing person and alumni of Lovely Professional University. So, I hope you all are doing great. And let me tell you that this is not just the live interaction. We also have the quiz competition just after the interaction gets over. And we have many exciting prizes for the winners of the quiz round. Let me tell you that the first position holder will get 500 rupees Amazon voucher. Second position holder will get Coding Ninjas bag. Third position holder will be getting Coding Ninjas merch t-shirt, and the fourth position holder would be getting the placement guidebook from Coding Ninjas. So stay tuned and do participate in this and get a chance to win the exciting prizes. Okay, so let's do something interesting. Let's play a rapid fire round. So I would be asking questions and I want quick replies from all of you. All right, in the live chat section. Okay, so the first question is which is the favorite place of yours at LPU that you miss the most? And I'm seeing the replies that you all guys are giving, and I want very quick replies. Come on. First question, guys, quickly. Which is the favorite place of yours at LPU that you miss the most? Okay. Shyam has said Unimall, Robot Ground, Library Unimall, SDMA, Unimall, Unimall. Okay, so we have a majority of people whose favorite place is Unimall. So that's great. So, second question, who all have reported to university? Quickly. I want rapid answers. Yes, okay, yes, hostels. Okay, great. Okay, so third question is which state do you all belong to? Which state do you all belong to, guys? I have already changed the question and I'm getting the answers of the previous question. Okay. So here I have the answers that is Bihar, Jammu, AP, UP, Jharkhand, UP, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, AP, Nepal, AP, West Bengal, Bihar, Jammu Kashmir, Uttar Pradesh. Okay, that's amazing. So, yes, so this was a small rapid fire round. And before we begin with the live interaction, let me tell you all that to all the coders out here, we have a golden opportunity for all of you. India's largest online coding competition, CodeKaze, is back in March 2022, which has foreseen the participation of 100,000 plus students. And what's in for you? In the last season, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that we had 50 plus companies who made job or internship offers to 63 students, and 12 companies are hiring from CodeKaze with an industry best package between 9 to 20 LPA. And more partnerships are on the way, and you also have a chance to win of total prize money of 3 lakh plus, and it's absolutely free. So do give it a chance and get a chance to earn your dream job and also the rewards. So register now because we have a very limited time for this. Okay, so coming to the live interaction, ladies and gentlemen, this live interaction is organized by the student chapter Coding Ninjas LPU, and this community is an open platform for all students to learn and grow together. And at Coding Ninjas LPU, we believe in the power of knowledge to enhance humanity and make greater impacts. So, for tech enthusiasts, budding entrepreneurs, event planners, designers, public speakers, and curious learners, Coding Ninjas LPU is the best place for you. We organize peer to peer learning sessions, engage with people, and make sure you learn from the best. So, if you want to be a part of this community, do register yourselves in the recruitment drive that is going on, and the link for the same would be popping right away in the live chat section. So, you guys can check it out and register yourselves. And I would also request the technical team to please drop down the CodeKaze registration link too. Okay. So, talking about the amazing person who would be interacting with us live today, let me tell you that he has been the alumni of Lovely Professional University. He was placed at Paytm as a software developer, and currently he is working at Nutanix with a whooping package of 31 LPA. And talking about his outstanding achievements, he is a full stack developer and a Java programmer and is certified by Google, AWS, Udacity, and Duke University. So, ladies and gentlemen, with all the virtual applause, please welcome Nishant Bansala.
Thank you so much, Prisha. Thank you so much for such a warm
Welcome,
welcome.
Nishant. A
How are
very
you?
warm good evening to you.
Thank you
And
so much.
on behalf of the entire Coding Ninjas LPU family, I welcome you here, and we are very glad that you have come here and will be interacting with us live today.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. It's great to be here. Great to be interacting with fellow LPU juniors. Like I see you guys all the time on LinkedIn, so it's cool to finally interact with you guys directly for once.
So, how are you, Nishant, and how was your day?
I'm good. I'm good. The day was good. So right now, like I just joined Nutanix in January, so right now we're having our ramp up, and it's pretty good so far. So yeah, we just work and relax, and it's pretty relaxed here at Nutanix. Like we don't need to work too much. We can take frequent breaks as much as we want, and there's a lot of stuff happening, like hackathons, peer interactions, a lot of good stuff happening. So it's really cool.
Okay, that's amazing, Nishant. So, Nishant, can you please share with us, like, how has your journey been till now and how it all started?
I guess it started at LPU itself. Yeah, before joining LPU, I did not have much coding experience. Like I knew a little bit of JavaScript and a little bit of what do you say HTML, like full stack, some basics of full stack development. But yeah, it mostly started in LPU. Like firstly, we were as you guys would have been assigned as well. We were studying C in the first semester, the C programming language. So yeah, it started with that, and I, to be honest, like I did not really put much effort into it. It was kind of natural to me for some reason. I do not know. I've always been into computers, tech, so maybe that's why. But it made a lot of sense to me. For loops, while loops, like in the first semester, people find it hard. I did not honestly find it hard. It was kind of nice. It was fun for me. So yeah, but I did not think I was good at it. I felt like okay, yeah, I'm doing pretty much the same thing that everyone else was doing. But we then had like an exam. This was our first coding exam ever for most of us. In the first semester itself, I remember it was Rajiv Sopti sir. They combined a few sections, and there were like a bunch of people inside one of the auditoriums. I don't even remember what do you call, call those anymore. But yeah, we had that huge session, and they uh, started like a test or something, and somehow I got the first rank in it. So that's when I realized, okay, this is something going on here. So yeah, basically that's the first clue I had that maybe I was good at it. But yeah, I eventually kept working on that. Eventually moved to C++, Python, and then found my way to Java, and I've been with Java ever since. Like I fell in love with it. It's such a good programming language, and yeah, then I started. I've, I like problem solving in general. Uh, I enjoy it a lot. So yeah, eventually data structures and algorithms that started exciting me, and just you know any problem that you have, there are like 10 solutions you can think of. It's pretty creative, and I feel like I'm a pretty creative person in general. So I really enjoyed the entire process of what do you say, solving problems and just solving data structures algorithms, which most people hate, I guess. But I liked it. It was fun. So yeah, somehow I landed up here at Nutanix. Just kept doing my thing. So yeah, that was my journey in brief, I guess.
That's really amazing, Nishant. So, निशांत क्या आप पहले और से ही टेक एंथुजियास्ट थे या फिर आपका इंटरेस्ट बाद में जाके डेवलप हुआ है?
See, you can be a enthusiast. I was a tech enthusiast, but having like technical knowledge and having programming knowledge, those are like two different things. I have been into computers, into tech, but more into like entrepreneurship kind of things. Like when I was a kid, Man, matlab, I think I was in 11, no, not in, I was in sixth standard when I like created my own YouTube channel in like 2010 or 11, and there was barely any YouTube. So yeah, I was playing around with computers, with softwares in general. So yeah, just creating that kind of stuff. But I was never into programming in general before coming to LPU and before learning C. I was not into programming. So yeah, like for anyone who's watching, if you started after coming in LPU itself, it's completely fine. There's like it's totally fine. You can do whatever you want. You can get whatever results you want. It's definitely not an excuse. Like I remember when I came to LPU, there were a few guys in my class who had already had a good programming experience because their people in their family were already programmers who were working in good companies like Oracle, companies like a few different companies, really good companies. So they already knew what to study, how to study. They had a good roadmap. Uh, but yeah, like I don't think that made a difference in the long run because if you're good at it, then you can still catch up. Even if you have started after coming to LPU, even if you're starting in, I guess you guys are in third year or second year, whatever year you guys are in, I think you can easily start right now and still get really good results out of it.
Okay, okay. So Nishant, as you said that you were a tech enthusiast from the first year itself, but कहीं बच्चे हैं जिनका ये प्रोग्रामिंग कोडिंग इन सब में इंटरेस्ट बाद में जाके डेवलप हुआ है लाइक फ्रॉम सेकेंड ईयर एंडिंग और द थर्ड ईयर स्टार्टिंग सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक लाइक can they also do DSA or it would be difficult for them?
No, not at all. It won't be difficult at all. Uh, as long as you guys have some understanding of programming, I think you can pick it up easily. Just the tip I would give you guys is never like try to cram things up. Always just try your level best to understand how things are working. क्योंकि अगर आपको foundational knowledge नहीं होगी, you'll never be able to play around with code. And playing around with code is extremely important when you get to harder problems where you have to think of a bunch of solutions and incorporate all those solutions. So yeah, it's really important to have good foundational understanding, and it's really important that you need to know how all the things are working. So let's say if you have a problem that you're solving, there just do not directly go to the solution, or just do not do this like you try something, it doesn't work, and then you move to the solution and see the solution. Just try, just think like why you're doing the solution that you're doing and why it's not working and why that other solution is working. It's really important to like it takes a lot of time. Like a single problem is going to take a lot of time, but eventually you're going to build up on that. It's really going to improve your fundamentals, and when it comes to problem solving in interviews, it's really going to help you out because you'll know why things work and why things do not work and why you should choose a certain solution over the other. So yeah, the core, basically in a nutshell, you should have a really good foundational knowledge of programming. If you do not have it right now, you can still start. Do not panic. Even people who are in fourth year right now, you don't need to panic at all. There's plenty of time. Trust me. Uh, there are, of course, on-campus placements at LPU, but there are many off-campus opportunities as well that I would highly recommend choosing off-campus opportunity, looking at off-campus opportunities as well. There's plenty of time. Just do not panic, because if you panic, then it's really going to screw up things for you. But yeah, other than that, you have plenty of time. Even if you start data structures right now, I think by August or something, you'll be really good at it. So yeah, it's definitely not an excuse to, oh, I missed studying all these 3 years. You did not. You still have time, and you can still do it.
Okay, okay. That's very true, you know, Nishan, because DSA, coding, these things comes with practice. If we leave
Absolutely,
them, we are never going to excel in those. Practice is
absolutely,
the only key that will excel, that will make us excel.
absolutely.
Okay, so Nishant, we have a question from our audience that is Nutanix a product based company?
Yes, Nutanix is a product-based company. Paytm as well. All of these, like, you'll never hear service-based companies giving good packages. To be honest, I mean, no offense to anyone who is in service-based companies. Those are really good. Like, I mean, they're pretty good as a stepping stone, like when you start your career. But yeah, those won't offer you like really good packages and really good pay and stuff. But yeah, as if you're starting your career, I think they're still a good option too. Like you start working at a good service based company, and then you eventually move on to a good product based company, because cracking good product based companies in the start itself, it can be kind of tough, because they have very limited openings, and the interviews and the tests they do, they're pretty rigorous, and it takes a lot of effort. So yeah, if you do not have any option, just go for service based companies and eventually move to product based companies. Or if you're good at it, or if you're somehow lucky like me, then you can start at product based companies as well. Like I started at Paytm and Nutanix, and both are like product based companies.
Okay, okay. So, Nishant, how has your experience been working with Paytm and Nutanix?
Yeah, it's been it's been good, but there's a pretty big difference in companies from the US. I mean, Nutanix is an MNC. They have offices all around the world, but Paytm is like an Indian startup. Still, like they're worth over, I don't know how many billions, but they're still Indian startup, and they have like very different work cultures. In Paytm, it's kind of aggressive, uh, very frequent deadlines that you have to meet somehow. And at Nutanix, it's pretty chill. It's almost like, I mean, very recently we were having a hackathon. I mean, it's like a college fest. So everyone just stopped working and everyone was just participating in hackathons. It was really fun. I mean, the work culture in general is super relaxed, and the people there are super cool. At Paytm, it's a little bit what do you say, aggressive. Yeah. So, but they're both cool. If anyone is joining Paytm, I mean, all the best to you. You're going to need it. But yeah, if anyone is coming to Nutanix, I heard that some people from LPU got placed in Nutanix from the 22 batch, and you guys are coming to Nutanix, then welcome aboard, guys. It's going to be really cool, really good place to work.
Okay, okay. So, to all our audience who are watching us live, if you guys have any question, you can definitely drop in the live chat section, and Nishant would be very happy to answer them.
Sure.
Okay. So, Nishant, the next question is that ऐसी कोई चीज रही है जो आप अभी रिग्रेट कर रहे हो कि काश मैंने ये अपने लर्निंग फेज में कर ली होती, एनीथिंग लाइक दिस?
Not really. I honestly do not regret anything that I did in college, or pretty much life in general. I mean, I'm in a fairly good place at the moment. So I'm whatever failures I had along the way, everything that happened along the way contributed to that. So I do not honestly regret that. But yeah, if I had known about, like as I said, when I joined LPU, I did not have any programming experience before that, and even then, I was just learning the basic things, the basic programming language and stuff. But if I had known how important data structures and algorithms are, I would have started earlier. But still, I do not think it would have made any difference, because I know people who started way before me are not doing that well at the moment. So yeah, I do not think it would have made much difference. But yeah, it would have like really helped me develop some better skills if I had started earlier.
Okay, okay. So, Nishant, we have a question from our audience. It's if we are studying civil engineering, can we try for coding?
Absolutely, you can, and I think you should. I mean, unless you're super interested in civil engineering, then just go ahead with it. More power to you. But if you're not too interested in civil engineering, and you may or may not be interested in programming, but programming is a good option, and you can definitely try for programming. I don't know what year are you in, but you can easily get jobs at good service-based companies like Capgemini. I mean, it's a start. You can get into product-based companies as well. These companies, like some companies do care what subjects you had in college, but there are good product based companies that won't care about that, like if you did civil engineering or what. But yeah, in service based companies, there's like anyone can get in if you have like good basic programming skills. So if you start working on your programming skills, I mean, it would barely take a month for you to develop enough skills to get in a good service based company. And it's not that hard. Like, and absolutely, I think you should pick up if you're in civil engineering, and if you're in any branch other than computer science, and you are not too much interested in that in your department, and then you can definitely pick up programming, and you'll get good jobs.
Okay. So, Nishant, what according to you is the best programming language
Oh
that
my
we
God.
can apply in DSA?
This
C++
is
or
this is
Java?
super controversial. This is super controversial, to be honest.
Yes.
I know I'm going to offend a lot of people, but Java. I don't vibe with C++, to be honest. I know there are a lot of C++ fans. Python has a fan base of its own, but I am a Java guy. Like, and I would personally recommend anyone who's learning data structures and algorithms, if you have the time to switch, I would suggest you guys switch to Java, because Java is really, really cool. I mean, it's just fun. It's easy for me personally. There's no actual reason why it's better. It's not that better in terms of just basic programming, but I prefer Java more. And there are a whole lot of opportunities for Java that are not there for C++ or Python. C++ has way less opportunities than Java, and not many industry applications, as far as I know. Like when I was in third year, I know you guys know Sammy Anand sir, right? Sammy sir. Yeah, he was
Ye-
like always in SDMA. He was always saying that do Java, do Java, do Java, and so I picked up Java, and ended up falling in love with it, and I somehow got really good at it. And now I can tell, like, I have been through that whole placement season, and now I see, like, I've applied to jobs offline as well through LinkedIn or whatever, through the career portals. I've applied to a few jobs. I can say that Java, a lot of companies do require Java more. So if you have Java, you're going to have an advantage, definitely. Not only that, not only for jobs, like when finding jobs, even when you start working, Java has really good frameworks like Spring Boot, Spring Boot, and all that. So most probably you're going to be working with Java itself if you get into backend. Other than that, like, it depends on the company. They might be using Python, they might be using JavaScript. It really depends on the company. But yeah, I think if you can, and if you can switch right now, it wouldn't cost you much. Then switch to Java. There are several benefits that you're going to realize later. Like, I switched to Java early. uh, Earlier I was coding in C++, like, but within a few months I managed to switch to Java. But some of my friends kept programming in C++, and like a few months ago he told me, man, I still regret it, I should have switched to Java. So yeah, Java. If I can suggest you guys, I would say go for Java. Please don't be offended. I know C++ and Python guys are gonna go insane after that.
And Nishant, as you said that we should prefer Java over C++, but it's often said that Java is a bit difficult language. So, what are your views? Is it
It's
really difficult, or is it just
not.
the illusion?
It's not. It's really not. Once you get the hang of it, it's really not difficult.
Like the
Not
syntax
not at all.
and everything.
It's really not. If you, like, as I said, if you have a good foundation in programming, then switching from C++ to Java is not hard at all. Just there's a syntax difference in syntax. Other than that, it's pretty easy. But switching from Python to Java is going to be a bit hard, but still something doable, and still something I would suggest you guys do, because I see people who are into Python get really comfortable with it, and then it becomes really hard for them to switch to other languages. But after studying Java, you can pretty much switch to any language that you get during your work. So I would suggest go with Java. It's really easy, and once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. It's really convenient. It's fun. C++ is not. There's a good reason for that is there's an ID from JetBrains for Java. It's really, really cool. It makes programming so fluid, so fun, and I don't think they have an good ID for C++. But yeah, there are a bunch of reasons for to pick Java. So yeah, that's what I would suggest. If you can, just pick Java. Otherwise, you can program in any language you want. Interviewers are going to be completely fine with it, whatever language you want. Like,
Oh,
they don't mind. Yeah.
okay. So, Nishant, we have a question from our audience. It's which e learning platform is the best place for practicing DSA,
For practicing
according to you?
DSA, there are so many good platforms. It's really hard to compare them. You can start with whatever platform you like. I would suggest, if you're really good at it, there's of course CodeForce's lead code for you. But if you're starting right now, then I would suggest start with HackerRank. It's really fun. They make it very easy. You can sort out whatever topics you want to work with and what kind of questions you want. It's pretty easy. I've seen that for starters, HackerRank is easy. Of course, then you can move to CodeChef. You can move to lead code or code courses. Uh, it really depends upon you. There's interview bit, it's pretty cool. There's Code Studio from Coding Ninjas itself, that's pretty cool as well. So yeah, there are all of these are good, to be honest. All these platforms are famous because they're good. So you can pick whichever one you like. But if you're just starting, I would suggest start with HackerRank. It's pretty cool. It's pretty simple, and they have a lot of filters that you can use to to just solve the questions that you want to solve. For example, if you're learning linked list, just solve. You can just start with easy questions from linked list. You can also see a bunch of different things, bunch of different stats on HackerRank. It's pretty cool. I'd say just start with HackerRank itself.
Okay, so Nishant, as you mentioned these platforms, we all know that there are contests on daily basis on one or the another platform. So,
Yeah.
what do you think? Like, how much important role do contests play in practicing DSA and competitive programming for those who are into CP?
See, if you're into CP, then of course these platforms are going to play a role in that. But I don't think those platforms are mandatory, or those coding competitions are mandatory for you to really get good at your skills, or to really, I would say, to get into really good companies. But if you do, even CP in general is not mandatory to get into good companies. CP and just knowing basic data structure and algorithms, those are like two different things. If you're into CP, then of course you're going to have some advantage, but yeah, it's not mandatory to get into really good companies. Like, yeah, it doesn't. It's not mandatory. So yeah, but if you're into CP, if you enjoy programming, then of course go for these competitions. Those are really cool and really fun. I did a few of those, but yeah, I was not too much into it. I was just more into development and more into just programming in general, rather than competing. But yeah, I have some time, so I guess once I'm a little bit free, I'm working on a few things right now. So yeah, once I get some time, uh, I'll just work on it. We shall see.
Okay, so what are your views on the competition that is India's largest coding competition, CodeKaze?
It's good. It's good. uh, yeah, I guess if you guys want to participate, just go with that. There's like no harm in participating. It's really cool, and you get to learn a bunch of things. So yeah, it's really cool. Uh, I would suggest, yeah, if you guys have time and if you guys can, if you guys are confident about it, just go for it. Uh, you'd like learn a bunch of things, and yeah, it's fun in general. Like if you're doing it with friends and stuff, you get to learn several things. It's fun. I'd say like if you guys have time, just go for it.
So, guys, if you are a coding enthusiast, I would suggest you all to please participate in CodeKaze, and the link would be floating right away in the live chat section, so you can check it out. And it's absolutely free. You can register yourselves for absolutely free. So, do give it a try and get a chance to win exciting prizes and also job opportunities. ओके सो निशांत ऐसा कई बार होता है लाइक हम कोई क्वेश्चन उठाते हैं कोडिंग क्वेश्चन एंड हमसे वो सॉल्व नहीं हो पाता है तो वी इजीली लूज होप एंड वी गेट डिसअपॉइंटेड विद आवरसेल्व्स कि अरे यार छोड़ो ये तो मेरे से हो ही नहीं रहा है तो लाइक हाउ टू ओवरकम दिस दैट इज
Mm,
गिविंग अप इजीली
yeah, like I think the best advice I can give you is कोई नहीं कर पाता यार. Initially, people don't
ट्रू
know how to solve problems until they know how to solve problems. So it's कोई नहीं कर पाता. Like I too, or anyone you see, like there are people from bits who are at like 1 crore packages. Just know that those people couldn't solve all these problems in the start as well. So कोई नहीं कर पाता initially, but yeah, once you get the hang of it, those problems are super easy. Just know, as I said, just most the best advice that I can give you guys is you see a problem, just think of all the solutions, check if any of the solutions work, and if none of those solutions work, move to the solution. Like look at the solutions and then analyze why this solution works and why your solutions were not working and why you shouldn't have opted for those solutions which you were trying. In this way, you're like going to clear a lot of your concepts, and this is how you're going to build these options. There's no benefit in feeling helpless because it's pretty easy. Once you solve some type of a problem a few times, then you're going to be able to do it easily. So there's no reason to like feel down or whatever. Just it's part of learning. Like if you already knew how to solve it, you wouldn't need to learn how to solve it. So basically, if you're not able to solve it, it's actually a good opportunity for you, because now you're going to learn something that you do not know, that many of the people who are going to be taking those same placement tests as you, they do not know, but now you're going to know those things because you're going to learn. So yeah, it's there's no reason to hang your head. Just go with it and take it as an opportunity. It's nothing to feel low about, nothing to feel down about. Most people that you're going to be dealing with cannot solve, that you're going to be competing with, will not be able to solve those problems.
Okay. So, our audience is really enjoying this session, and I can see in the live chat section, they are dropping so many fire emojis, heart emojis. Then they are saying informative session, amazing session, productive session. So, stay tuned, guys. There's a lot more for you all, and you'll definitely enjoy this session. Okay.
Cool, that's cool.
So,
Thanks, guys.
what are, yes, Nishant, please.
Yeah, come on, go on.
Okay, okay. So, Nishant, what are some of the important topics for DSA that we should not miss? Like, they are the
Uh,
must topics that we have to do. There's no chance of leaving them.
uh, of course, those are going to be the basics itself. Linked list, recursion, all these topics of DSA are like super important. Whatever you're going to do afterwards, you're going to be building upon these topics, the basic data structures and the basic algorithms. You're somehow going to be working around these basic algorithms as well. But I cannot like actually suggest you the just focus on these data structures or algorithms or in on these topics only, because it really depends upon the company, like what questions they're going to ask. So yeah, you can just search on what do you say, Geeks for Geeks. They have good interview experiences. You can get an idea like what kind of companies like to ask what kind of questions. So all this stuff is available on Geeks for Geeks and a few different sites actually. So yeah, I would suggest before you're going to interview for any good company, just look at what they're asking for Geeks for Geeks or whatever, like what questions they're asking, what questions they're focusing more on. Like there are a few companies who like DP more, and I know a lot of guys try to run away from DP, but yeah, it's important for some companies, not for all companies, but yeah. So yeah, it really depends upon the company that you're applying for. But other than that, in general, you should just, I would say, focus on the basic data structures and algorithms, because you're going to be building upon those only. So yeah, upon the basics, like what do you say, trees, recursion, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. So, Nishant, you already have a very good package. So, are you preparing for something like more better than this in future? And if yes, what's that?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not thinking about switching at the moment. I'm going to stay here for some time. Initially, when I joined, the only thing that I had in mind was, of course, I'm going to be here for a few months and then I'm going to move to Google or something. I'll try to get into Google or something. But right now, I'm super comfortable. Like, as I said, Nutanix has really good culture and everything, and I'm really enjoying here. And you shall see once you get into a good company, it makes you super lazy. I used to hear that a lot, and now I'm realizing that. But yeah, definitely, I'm more towards startups. Like I do not want to work forever. I have a different plan. But yeah, eventually, in within after a year or two, maybe I'll look into getting to a different company. But right now, I'm super comfortable here. So yeah, I'm always learning data structures and algorithms. Like that part doesn't end. I would like it ends if you want it to end, but I wouldn't suggest you guys to let it end. Basically, even if you get into good companies, just unless you're at a super really good package in a really good company that treats you really well, then you can just sort of what do you say, put down your notebook and put down these data structures and algorithms. But unless you're in that position, I would say keep learning DSA, because no matter if you're going to apply now, no matter if you're going to apply 1 year, 2 years down the road, data structures and algorithms are not going to leave you. You need to know DSA. Like no matter what happens, you need to know DSA. So yeah, keep learning DSA, even if you get into a really good company.
Truly said, Nishant, that data structures and algorithms is one of the most important thing that we have to prepare for getting placed in a good company.
Right.
So, what according to you makes a good resume? Like, what all things should be included?
Uh, a good resume, I would say, just highlight the best in you. Like there shouldn't be anything. Of course, you have to manage. Like, do not make it too ugly. Do not put too much stuff into it. Then the interviewers are going to look at it and just throw it out because, I mean, not actually throw it out, but they're like really not going to enjoy it. Just make it. Just try to find a good balance between making it an informative CV and keeping it light. You need to find a balance between that. So, of course, include your core skills. Uh, I would say what people do is what one of my friends used to do was like create a different resume for every different company. You can do that if you want. I personally did not do that. I just created one resume and I used it for all the companies. I mean, I barely applied to many companies, but yeah, when I was applying for Paytm, like it was I think the second company that I applied for in LPU, and I got into Paytm. Even in Nutanix off campus, I applied to I guess three or four companies, and one called me for interview, and I got into mechanics as well. So yeah, I do not. What do you say? I do not have that. I wouldn't recommend basically to creating different CVs for different companies, and the one CV that you do have, just try to highlight all the major traits that are related to programming and whatever achievements you have. Like some people have those ICPC stuff and whatever your 5 star code chef, then put that in. Just make your CV your own. Like if somebody picks it up, they need to be like immediately blown away, I would say. So put all that kind of stuff in your CV. Make it make it concise. Like do not ramble on and on about your projects and stuff. Just highlight in some what you have done and what you've achieved. And also the most important part is good projects. One thing that happens is in the interviews, like of course there's going to be data structures and algorithms. Uh, People do not usually talk about certifications or whatever skill set you list in the CV, but they do talk about your projects and they do talk about your projects extensively. So you should not only know about your project, but you should know how to put it out. You should just prepare in advance. Like, okay, they asked me about this project. This is I have to list. Like, I worked on this part, and this is what I learned from it. And maybe you were leading the pack. Maybe you were leading your group that was creating that project. So yeah, just list down all those things. Uh, and already prepare for that because that question is going to come. There are a few questions that are short that are going to be in the interviews. Tell us about yourself and of course your projects and BSc. So yeah, just prepare for that in the advance itself. Uh, so yeah, good projects. Just highlight your skill set, make a concise CV, and yeah, you can include your certifications as well and few key points about yourself, like about your personality in general, if you want. I did that too, so yeah, you can do that as well.
Okay. So, Nishant, it would be very great if you could share your experience. Like, what preparation have you done from switching from Paytm to Nutanix?
I did not do anything different. I was doing the same thing, just learning programming, learning data structures and algorithms, just getting good in programming in general, and just watching interviews, like trying to assess myself, like where I'm lacking. Just I did not do anything different. It was same. Just that at LPU, I did not get to interview for many companies after I got placed at Paytm. You know what happens is once you get into a in good company or any company, then LPU doesn't really let you apply to other companies. Like after I got selected, pretty soon I started working as well at Paytm. So I did not get to interview at too many companies. So yeah, right after that, I just kept the same things going. Of course, that Paytm things got really, I would say, as I said, kind of hectic and kind of aggressive because there's so much of work. But yeah, eventually I moved to just back to my programming and back to just working on my skill set. And yeah, I got into Nutanix. I did not do anything different. Just keep, I would say, keep assessing yourself, like where you're lacking. Just be honest with yourself, where you're lacking and what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. Uh, just be honest with yourself. Then you can really make really good improvements if you're honest with yourself, if you know where you're lacking or what you're doing wrong. Well, of course, you can talk to your seniors. Like sometimes people do not have that much knowledge. I did not have a lot of knowledge that I do have at this point. I did not have it when I was in my fourth year or third year. So yeah, uh, try to talk to your seniors, whatever people who are in good companies who you're close with. And I see a lot of people from LPU are doing that. That's really cool to see. Like, but do it. I'd say. I mean, of course, you guys can do it, but like my LinkedIn gets bombarded, to be honest, like every day. So I cannot respond to everyone. I'm really sorry, but I try my best. So yeah, please don't be offended. But yeah, if you do not have any other seniors, like you can of course message me, and I'd love to help because I see like a lot of juniors. They're really confused about many of the things. I think I had a session before this with Coding Ninjas and LPU itself. I think a few weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yes, I remember. It was a placement session and you were
Uh,
there.
Sammy sir
Yes.
was there, and
Yes,
all the
Sammy Anand sir
Coding
was
Ninjas.
there.
Yeah, Rishabh from Coding Ninjas was there, and different people from Geeks for Geeks and other people.
Yes,
All
Geeks
of
for
these companies.
Geeks, Programming Pathshala and Coding Ninjas.
Exactly. तो उस वाले सेशन के बाद a girl contacted me and she was having like really I don't know some extreme issues or something because basically she wrote like 4 paragraphs or something like oh I'm having this confusion and my friends are demotivating me and this kind of stuff. So I just like I talked to her for like a few like a good 10-20 minutes and just sorted her doubts. So yeah, I know I see you guys are like really confused about things, so it's really it would be really good if you guys would contact your seniors or me if you guys don't have anyone. But yeah, it really helps. It really helps, I would say, because I think after that I somehow managed to clear a lot of her doubts. So yeah, just keep assessing yourself and just keep being honest with yourself and just do not feel down. Like if you cannot uh, I'd say work with something, if you cannot solve problems, if you're feeling confused about something, there's a solution to everything. That you don't need to feel sad about it or bad about it. There's a solution to everything. Just just as I said, just keep looking for solutions because solutions are out there.
Okay, so Nishan, the last question is like any tips or advice for pre-final year students and final year students too that you would like to give?
The best advice I can give you guys is just start. I know a lot of you guys haven't started, and I know a lot of you guys listening to me haven't started it, but yeah, just start and just do not panic. There's plenty of time for you guys, and if you work hard, you can really get into good companies. Just work hard and be consistent. If you're not consistent, then things are going to not be good. But yeah, the best advice I can give you is just start and do not panic because you're going to get into you're going to get praised. Like, do not worry about that one way or the other. If you do not get into like some company with 10 lakhs, you're going to get into a service based company, so you're going to get placed. Do not worry about that. Most people get placed, but yeah, just start working at your own pace. You do not need to rush things, you do not need to panic. Just start wherever you are, just work on your fundamentals. And if you've already started earlier, like many people who started in the first semester itself like myself, then you're probably in a good position. I would say just keep advancing. Just do not stop. Just do not feel laid back, and also do not feel uh, let down if you did not like somehow qualify for good companies at LPU because LPU, I don't know how it works anymore, but when I was in LPU, so they had some, I don't know, some criteria before, like with which they shortlisted what people could apply or sit for certain companies. And I did not, at that time, I wasn't even shortlisted for Bosch. So they had some weird, I had a good CGPA, I had a good track record, and I was doing well in programming. But yeah, that criteria used to be pretty random at that time. So do not feel let down by that. You're going to get your opportunity. Just make sure when that opportunity comes, you're ready for that.
Okay, okay. So, thank you so much, Nishan, for answering all the questions and queries, and thank you so much for motivating us, guiding us, and sharing your experience with us. And I can already see that our audience has really enjoyed this session. They all are,
Yeah.
there's a shower of good wishes and appreciations in the chat box. Informative session, enjoyed very much. So thank you so much for that. And
Sure, sure thing, Prashant.
यस एंड इट्स ऑफन सेड कि हम लोग ना अपनी सिमिलर एज वालों से ज़्यादा कनेक्ट कर पाते हैं एंड आपने अपने सारे एक्सपीरियंसेस हमारे साथ शेयर किए तो उसके लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया एंड ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ entire Coding Ninjas LPU family, thank you so much for joining us today and interacting with us live. Thank you so much for your precious time, and we are very glad to have you here. And it was really very lovely interacting with you. So, thank you so much, Nishant.
Thank you so much, Prashant. Thanks to all of you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening for me. And of course, you guys can connect with me whenever you want. And good luck for your placements and for your career in general. Good luck, guys.
Thank you so much, Nishant.
Thank you, Prashant. Bye.
Okay, so
Can I log
yes,
off or are you going to?
yes, you can.
All right. See you guys. Bye.
Bye bye. Have a great day.
Bye, Prashant. Bye.
Okay, so guys, the attendance link would be popping in the chat box. So you all are supposed to fill that attendance form for getting certificates. And yes, I would again repeat that don't miss the golden opportunity that is India's largest coding competition, CodeKaze. It's absolutely free. So please give it and get a chance to win exciting prizes. And yes, the session is not over. We have a quiz round competition just after this. And as you all know, the amazing and very interesting prizes for the quiz round. So do participate in the quiz, and the link for the quiz round would be popping right away in the chat box. And thank you so much to our wonderful audience for making this live interaction very interactive. And I must say, you all are an amazing audience, and I hope you all enjoyed. And it was a really productive and informative session for you all. So we'll keep coming back with such more type of sessions. And yes, that's it. Have a great day. Stay safe. Take care, everyone. And with this is Prisha Sareja officially signing off. Thank you so much, everyone.